Got a little busy here in the weather department, especially as we creep on close to the weekend. I'll get to all the things over the next 3 minutes or so. Looking out over Killeen Regional right now, you can see flags aren't moving very much there behind me. You can see there's still some extensive cloud cover in place, sitting in the 30s and 40s, so cooler air in place post cold front from yesterday. It was a dry front. Not going to see any rain today, even though we threw a few clouds into the mix. Right now in the 30s and 40s, as I mentioned, upper 30s in our northwestern quadrant, more like 45 in Hearn right now, 45 here in Tipple as well. We'll hop up into the 50s area wide here shortly and top out in the 50s, most of us this afternoon. Under partly to mostly cloudy skies again. Nothing to show you on SatRad for the time being. High temperatures this afternoon slated to be about 10 above where we're situated right now on average, upper 50s for most, touching about 62, 63 down in the Brazos Valley. Let's get straight to it and talk about the weekend. That's what everyone wants to know about. I'm going to go through the models for tomorrow because likely we have some rain on radar, but it's not going to be the wintry precipitation quite yet. We are now 3 to 5 days out, so I'll move this arrow down a little bit. Now we're going to be focused on when the freezing temperatures are going to get here. Move out of the way so you can see this graphic here. We are looking at precipitation type and again exactly when the cold air is going to arrive, how long it's going to last, things of that nature, and then we'll get into potential amounts after that as we approach tomorrow into Friday. Okay, so let's go through today. Again, mostly cloudy skies, winds returning out of the south eventually this afternoon, 50s and lower 60s. As we head on into tomorrow, likely especially east of I-35 is where it's favoring. Not going to see much in terms of accumulation, but non-wintry precipitation. This is straight up rain for Wednesday, okay? And not everyone sees it again. It's favoring along, but especially east of I-35. Tomorrow we're hopping up into the 60s for high temperatures, by the way. As we roll on into Thursday, east of 35, we could see a couple of things on radar. The great majority of us stay dry on Thursday. That's our warmest day. The blast gets here Friday early, likely. It is going to be very windy out of the north once the cold Arctic air does arrive. We are likely to be sitting in the 50s area wide Friday afternoon, not freezing quite yet. When does that start? Again, this is when we start to watch the timing exactly on this, where the freezing line is situated. Likely in the overnight hours, say around midnight on Saturday, is when we're starting to see a switch over to potentially some ice. We could see some pellets. This is going to be heavily, again, dependent on each level of the atmosphere and where we're sitting at the ground level in terms of 26 degrees versus 33 degrees, things of that nature. We're going to be very close to that 32-degree mark. We wake up Saturday morning, likely we are seeing some ice, we are seeing some sleet. That's why you wanted to prepare now. I would highly recommend not traveling on Saturday if you can avoid it into Sunday morning, because that's when we likely have the greatest travel impacts area wide. You can see this is still a long range model, still a blurb is what I call it, where it's not pulling in potential amounts exactly where we can pinpoint where these bands are going to set up. That is going to be much closer to Friday night into Saturday when we can pinpoint that. But this is several days now that both models are pulling in wintry precipitation, especially potentially ice. We could start to see the transition over to snow. I would say especially if you're in our northwestern and northern counties. I'm talking Waco north throughout the day on Saturday, overnight into Sunday morning. If we are still seeing precipitation on radar on Sunday morning, we are well below freezing at that point, and I think it likely is snow. So we'll see what that ends up looking like. We do clear out on Sunday. Both models are now in agreement on that. So this second weather model regionally is going to show that blast of cold air arriving on Friday in the PM hours. Again, that switch over is going to be Friday night into Saturday morning. Both models now agree on that. Lingering throughout the day. Likely some ice throughout the day on Saturday. Overnight into Sunday is when I think it is going to start to switch over to snow, but ending quickly on Sunday morning. Both models in agreement on that as well. Remember the 4 Ps. Definitely want to protect your pipes. All 4 of these actually for the upcoming weekend. Here's your 7-day forecast. Now did go ahead and bump up the weather impact alert to start the back half of Friday because we are going to see a drastic temperature drop. We're already going to see rain on radar likely by early Friday afternoon, and then we'll see that switch over. So Jasmine, definitely, I keep telling everyone, if you don't have 6 Plus, download it to your TV. That's where we're posting all the videos, refreshing those models every couple of hours.
Yeah, absolutely. Whitney, thank you so much. So much important information that you all are sharing in our weather department.